Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we have the Republique, the all-new Tier 8 campaign ship. She's a beautiful French battleship. She hits like a truck. This is probably going to be one that you don't want to miss. In the video, we're going to go over the commander, the mods, the stats. We're going to show off a game in her, do all that fun stuff. But before we do that, I'm going to do a quick little plug over the weekend. Two things. One, we announced a giveaway. We're giving away a Tier 6, a Tier 5, and a Tier 4 premium of your choice. If you want details, go ahead and look back a couple videos. You'll see the channel update. You'll be able to see how you can enter that video or for that contest there. Additionally, we did also announce memberships. One of the perks to membership is the ability to see videos like this early. The second I upload them to YouTube way before usually when they're actually published. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check out that memberships. Okay, all of that spieling done. Let's go ahead and dive on in. First things first, let's go ahead and talk commander. We are running Robert Jugaud. You know him, you love him. He's the French accuracy commander. Inspirations we are running are Megatron and Andrew Cunningham. This is the same build that I have running on my Champagne because Republique kind of plays like a Champagne that's good. There, I said it. Base trait of Jugaud is going to be Bore. It's going to increase the battleship's AP penetration, which is nice. Makes it easier to hit those longer range shots that you're going to want to shoot with Republique. Then, as far as skills go, we're running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, Reaching Out XXL, and Will to Rebuild. As far as mod slots for the ship go, well, she as all of tier 8s, because they didn't get an additional mod slot, sadly, but I mean, hey, I guess that's just where we are. She has 4 mod slots. In the first one, we are running Aiming System Mod 1. Of course, Republique does have the ability to access the Armament Durability Mod 1, which is unique to the French battleships. I didn't get a turret knocked all day, so knock on wood. That continues to not happen, but I did not feel the need for it, so we're running Aiming System Mod 1. Then we are running Steering Gears, though I think Propulsion Mod could be an argument here. I think, though, the maneuvering you're going to be doing is more likely going to be Propulsion. Then we're running Concealment Mod because, God, why wouldn't you want a battleship these days? And then finally, we are running Main Battery Mod 3 to get that reload down because, guys, if you chose to run this with, like, Dunkirk, you'd probably be pretty good. Or if you chose to run this with someone else, you'd probably be fine because the main battery reload on this ship is insane. The reload is incredible. You could run a brawler build. I wish there was a commander sort of like the new Pan-European battleship brawling commander, one where you essentially get the perks of brawler without the range penalty. I would take it in a heartbeat on this vessel. I just need that in my life. As far as consumables go, let's go ahead and run through them. There are no alternative consumables that you can pick up. First one is going to be Damage Control Party. It's going to be the bog standard 15-second duration with an 80-second reload time. Repair Party, you're going to heal 558 health per second. It's going to last 19.6 seconds. It's going to reload 8 in 80 seconds, and you're going to get 3 charges. Then there's Enhanced Secondary Targeting. It's going to last for 30 seconds. You're going to get 3 charges. It's going to recharge in 120 seconds or 160 seconds. And then finally, you have the Engine Boost, which is going to boost your max speed by 8%. Going to last 180 seconds. It's going to reload in 180 seconds, and you're going to do 2 charges of it. So, with all that said, let's now dive on into those stats of Republique. And here we go. Republique, 76,000 hit points with an armor thickness between 4 and 590 millimeters. Let's go ahead and dive on into that armor view. I do apologize. The new port is a bit limiting in the way that you can view things in the armor view, but we do have 32 millimeters of armor on the bow and protecting the majority of the deck, so that is excellent. We do have a turtleback armor scheme, which is very nice to help protect that citadel. And then from what I can tell, It appears that the Citadel is just at the waterline. This new port, there's no water, so it's kind of hard to judge where the waterline is. You can kind of judge it by like the anti, what is it, the place where they paint the ship so that the barnacles don't stick. I'm forgetting the fancy term for it, but you know, the very clear line, it looks like it's just above it by a little bit, but also recessed in, giving you that wonderful magic French armor. Also, that's kind of how the turtleback helps protect. So yeah, there is the Republique's armor scheme. Moving on, torpedo reduction is absolutely massive on this vessel at a whopping 55%. Main battery, these are the star of the show. 2 4-barreled 431 millimeter guns, and that number is important because it hits the overmatch criteria. If you multiply 30 times 14.3, you're gonna get 429, which means, well, anything 430 meters and more can overmatch 30 millimeters of armor. Right here at 431, this thing will punch through that Embutta bow and pretty much mess up any cruiser that decides to stand in your way and is foolish enough to go bow in. I just have to say, if you look at the stats on the ship, the way, or at least the way we built it, the stats for the guns, it has the bar at 100, which is just magical. Anyways, firing range 20.2 kilometers, the reload time of 22 seconds, giving you a shells per minute of 22, which is so coincidental I literally had to recheck my math on that. But yes, you do too. You have a reload time of 22 seconds and you do 22 shells per minute. 180 time on those guns is going to be 30.8 seconds. HE damage, you're going to be doing 6,000 per shell, giving you a DPM of 132,000 with a chance of fire of 48%. The AP damage hits like a truck, 15,400 for a DPM of 338,800. Like I said, this thing is nasty. Secondaries, you have 8 2-barreled 127 millimeter guns and 3 3-barreled 152 millimeter guns with a firing range of 6.3. Those 127 millimeter guns are going to reload in 4 seconds and do 1,800 damage and have a 9% chance to set fire. Those 152s are going to reload in 8 seconds, do 2,200 damage, and have a chance of fire of 12%. Giving you a whopping total DPM if every single secondary hit and they manage to cause full pen damage of 580,500, which is a little impressive. Of course, this vessel does not have torpedoes, so let's move on to the AA. AA defensive range is 5 kilometers, which is respectable. I feel like it's kind of bog standard at this point. With a minimum damage of 33, which isn't great, but it scales up immensely once they get into the closer rings, going up to 465 damage per second. Max speed of the vessel is 27 knots with a turning radius of 980 meters and a rudder shift time of 15.5 seconds. Concealment, well, detectability by sea is 13.8, detectability by air is 11.6, and detectability when firing in smoke is going to be 16 kilometers. And those are all of the stats of the Republique. As far as history goes of the vessel, this was a paper ship. It was never built, so there's not like a battle history for it. Sadly, there is one thing I want to point out, though. It's something I didn't point out on the Flanders, but it's really prominent here. There's a helideck on this ship, guys. There's a helideck. I want a spotting helicopter as a consumable. Please and thank you, Wargaming. It goes up, it hovers, it comes down. It would be perfect. It doesn't have to circle. It just goes up, it hovers. It would be magical. That's what I need in my life, Wargaming. Anyways, with all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at a game in this ship. So, welcome to the Sea of Fortune, as we are here, and well, we spawned on A, and we are the weak side. So we have to kind of come up with a plan on how we want to hold this side. We can see that we do have a aircraft carrier right behind us. He is occupying the third slot. So there's a 50-50 chance that either A, they mirror the spawns and we end up matched with the weak side, or B, we're about to face the strong side of the enemy team and we need to plan. So we've gone ahead full ahead. What we want to do here is kind of stick to the islands, try to get out to the side. That's where Republique really tends to shine. We have the AP loaded because generally, especially because we have an airplane, we have the carrier on our side. Hopefully he spots out our side first and we can catch someone on the enemy team completely broadside and we can just mess them up. So the plan is try to stick to the islands for cover, take the shots where we can, and well, we got some spotting and it's telling us something very important. Do you see where that Georgia is? He did not spawn mid. That's a battleship fleeing his side, which tells me, well, it looks like they also spawned weak side, and instead of trying to face their fears head on and instead of trying to hold their side, they decided that abandoning the flank is the best play. And well, this is why you don't do that right here. We now have free reign of the side, and instead of our sneaky plan to like come up through the islands, try to get some nice broadsides, we now have full reign just to push into ACAP. We don't need to worry. We can see where one of their destroyers are. We can see where both of their destroyers are. We are free and clear. So it's time for us to go ahead and push in. We're going to tap that engine boost and start pushing up because you know what? No one's going to stop us at this point. And that is all about reading the map and what we have to do. Of course, as I say that, the enemy rune does pop up and he could be a bit trouble, but we have this main who is sitting there just happy as can be. He's in the match. He's fired. As soon as we tap him here, he's going to realize that sitting in open water is a bad idea, but we tap him for 37,000 damage, and that right there is why I love the Republique, because did you see that dispersion? It was slightly wonky of French-like, but for a French battleship, oh boy is it accurate. It is much closer to the Champagne, or I guess the Gascon, because I know a bunch of you yelled at me during the hey, this is going to be the new campaign ship about, you didn't even say it's like the Gascon. Well, you know what? That's because no one likes the Gascon. Champagne is at least the cool meme choice, okay? Yeah, I guess Gascon is too. But anyways, we're going to push into the capture circle right here. Try to get it marked. We can see once we slap that main, it kicked him into gear. We want to get this island between us and the rune so we can drop off of spot. And here is why I also love the Republique with the concealment mod. You can see where the majority of the enemy ships are. They are within that space between our spotting circle, which is the blue one, and our outer firing range, which means we can pop up, and then after 20 seconds, we will the circle will constrict, and we have 2 seconds to decide, do we want to continue to fire, or do we want to reposition and mess with them? We do have to keep an eye on this Georgia here, just because at any point he could really come on out and mess us up. But we are kind of free and clear in being able to take this cap. We kind of want to just let it sit. And well, one of the enemies is paying attention. This Soyuz, the new Tier 8 Russian ship, he is paying attention. He ends up getting a nice little hit into us right there. We're going to try to return the favor to him, try to reverse. That way we can keep this island between us. That way, we want to be able to drop off. Of course, we are being spotted by a plane. And, well, we can now see where that plane is, which tells us we need to be a bit more cautious, because if you look, it is up by that island. So that means that rune is trying some dirty German tricks, right? Map awareness is key, and we're going to use it right here. We've gone ahead, thrown the ship in full forward, because it is always easier to dodge enemy torpedoes when you actually have some maneuverability. We know he's going to be charging us, so what we want to do is, now he comes right around the corner. We are going to pull forward, turn hard right, because I'm sure he's dumped torps thinking we were going to be fairly still. We want to swing those guns around, and our initial plan is we're going to have those guns off our starboard side. So we want to point our reticle off to the right-hand side of the ship, because we want to complete this turn before we engage. Though at this point, we have the shells reloaded. Our turn is going to help this turret kind of get in line. He goes broadside. We aim just below the waterline right there. We get 2 overpens. he's definitely dumping his other set of torps right here. So we're going to continue this turn right here. As those torps pop up, we're not going to make it out of their range before they hit us. So we're going to straighten up, try to take as few as possible. We end up taking 3 fires there. As soon as that occurs, we're going to go ahead and pop, make sure we're no longer taking those 3 fires. We do take a fairly heavy hit right there from what I feel like is that Russian battleship once again. But the Rune's 27 millimeters of bow armor, it has nothing to do compared to our 431s. So we easily overmatch him, deal with him, and, well, we're down on a good chunk of HP, but we've secured this side fairly well, and we are now able to start really accessing their broadsides, playing a little bit more careful because we are a little bit down on health, but we're going to have some excellent shots coming up here. So, or at least we're going to have an attempt to get some excellent opportunities. So we're going to go ahead and pop our last heal, try to get all the health that we can. My Jujad isn't ranked up a ton, so I don't have a huge ring of will to rebuild, but we did come in close to the Buffalo just to see if we could top up any. I don't think we had gotten low enough for will to rebuild to really go. Also, what do you guys think of the new the new legendary skill location? I'm not a fan. I did like it down and below. I have a sneaking suspicion that its new location has something to do trying to match the phone UI up to the game UI. That's my guess, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of just how big it is. I get that it now matches the spotted sign and symbol and kind of makes a square that's easy to focus on, but overall, not a huge fan. Okay, so Republique, we're starting to push around. We need to be careful of this Georgia. He has big guns that can really chunk us. We have big guns that can chunk him, right? It's a classic standoff. But we do also need to be careful because, well, look what he just did to our poor Buffalo there. I think it was a Buffalo. I don't know what he was doing though, because Buffalo, you want to play from the back. Anyways, Vanguard pops up over there, and so does the enemy Graf Zeppelin. We go ahead and line up the shot on the Graf Zeppelin because, well, if we can eliminate their enemy carrier, so much better. We probably should have shot for the enemy battleship because we probably could have secured that kill, knocked his guns off of the map. And if I was critiquing myself, I say, probably should have gone for the Vanguard there. Because if you can knock a set of guns off the map, that's eliminating a source of DPM from the enemy team. And that is going to help your team in the long run. But we're being careful here just in case that Georgia wants to back out. We want to tempt him to back out. Because if he does do that, he's going to have one gun on the rear that's going to be a little bit more advantageous for us. But looking at it now, he appears that he's full in. He's just going to go ahead and drive forward, try to get out of here. He doesn't like the fact that a Republique is so nearby. And so now we're going to get to the section of this game that is just slow maneuvering. So I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on Republique. This is a great ship, guys. It's a great ship. It punishes broadsides. The guns are big. They fire quickly. If you want to build it for a brawl, you can. I think you can get the gun reload down to like 16 seconds. Like it's stupid fun. This is a good ship and one that is just stupid fun and one that I like. This is definitely one of the campaigns you're going to want to buy out. I only have a reference point right now as far as other tier 8 battleships with the main, because that was the only other battleship I was able to purchase. And I'll tell you, I'll take the Republique over the main. Main's pretty fun. Main's a Montana with 2 less guns. Short review of that. But Republique is just a little special. Anyways, Graf Zeppelin headed towards us. We're going to go ahead and fire at him. We do have to be cautious here, and this could be potentially bad for us because if we look, we are somewhat broadside to that to the Georgia down there. And once again, he could absolutely slap us if he wanted to. Thankfully, this Graf Zeppelin, he seems to be at the end of his planes. Graf Zeppelin, playing here so far, is definitely a higher skill ceiling of the aircraft carriers. I know that's weird to say because a bunch of people are like, they don't have any skill. Graf Zeppelin is going to be one of the higher skill ones just because you can very easily get to planing Graf Zeppelin, and I think that's what has occurred here. Anyways, we are broadside to Georgia. Georgia is broadside to us. we're going to turn in towards Graf Zeppelin for two reasons. One, he is dropping torps on us, and we want to avoid those torps. And two, we want to keep him somewhat nearby if we can catch up to him. Of course, he's going to be probably a little bit quicker than us, but we want the ability to be angled away from the Georgia. Republique, her firing angles are very beneficial to the rear. That is the way I like to play her. We do end up picking up the high cal off of Zeppelin being spotted there. But I like to play her kind of facing rearwards because her firing angles are just a little bit better, and it does help you get out of trouble if you need to. Anyways, Georgia pops up right here. We throw one salvo away. Shell's looking beautiful. Line up the next salvo. First salvo, one Citadel. It's a beautiful, and the second Citadel picks us up. Both the Confederate and the Dev Strike, and no more Georgia. And well, now there's only the Graf Zeppelin to go, and he's all but deplaned. So we just need him to be spotted. Time for those guns to turn on around to the other side, and hopefully we can end this game relatively quickly. So, guys, Republique, I really do enjoy this ship. It's a fun one. It's going to be up there. I can't imagine if more campaign ships are like this. Tier 8's going to be hopping. You know, I didn't come up against too many legendaries today in her, but I feel like she does sit up there closer to the legendary tier rather than down near the tier 7s. And ultimately, that's good. That's good. Tier 8, guys, is here, and it's a fun tier. So that's the Republique, guys. If you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Let me know. Are you gonna pick up Republique? Let me know down in the comments below. See ya.